The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 115 with Vantablack Warship. Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Another Dead Rockstar by Vantablack Warship, who I've got on the show with me right now. They're a metal band from Montreal, Canada, and we're going to be listening to that song as well as one other while finding out more information about the band. Curtis, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much, John. Pleasure to be here.
Well, thank you. Let's go listen back to that track, Another Dead Rockstar. All right, come back for the Dead Rockstar. You know what I love about that track is that we start off with, obviously, the vocals, and then, bam, we just kick into it with the snare hit, and just the way the bass is playing it. I don't know, it's groovy, man.
Thanks. Yeah, I guess, groove is part of what we're about in terms of our song style and whatnot, but yeah, we really like that tune.
Groovy. Now, big question for you, what's the story or inspiration behind Another Dead Rockstar?
Well, when you've been playing music for a while, you run across all sorts of types, and sometimes you come across some friends or some musicians that they're still trying to aim for the limelight, but unfortunately, it's just not happening for them, and they get caught up in all sorts of stuff, which sometimes starts impacting their lives in a more so negative way, and creates frustrations and whatnot, and I guess it's just, sometimes it's time to call it a day, and rather than take it out on folks and be negative and abusive, or get lost in complete alcoholic or drug haze. Well, that's the typical, dead rock star for us, So that's where another dead rock star comes from. It has nothing to do with, all these rock stars we're seeing passing, over the past few years. We've lost a lot of great artists, but not to be confused with those dead rock stars. This has absolutely nothing to do with that. It's very much more, a message, I guess, to some people, and maybe these are some people that we know, to just say, hey, take care of yourself, man.
Yeah, absolutely no joke there. Now, I'm curious, and this could get into just the entire writing process for, all of Vantablack, but was there anything unique about the writing process when it came to Another Dead Rockstar?
We're a type of band that you'll have like all the guitar players, the bass player, myself, where we'll just throw riffs out, at a jam session. And sometimes 2 or 3 of these will come together quite nicely, and, they'll be the ground for a song. So it's not very complex in terms of a writing process. It's just very free flowing, and it's almost like a little bit of a copying paste kind of exercise, but in the real world, not in the, the computer world. So that's basically how most of our songs come together. It's just basically somebody coming to the table with a riff or another riff, and then merging those together. I wrote the intro riff to Another Dead Rockstar, and then most of the rest of the song was written by a guitarist, Pat Gordon, and just copy pasting that and pulling it together into a song, and then Yannick will throw some vocals on it.
Sweet. So for Rock Metal Nation who dug the track Another Dead Rockstar, there's also a lyric video available. So if you go to today's show notes, www.therockmetalpodcast.ca, as a bonus, you can go and see the lyric video for Another Dead Rockstar. Now, Curtis, what is the inspiration, or how did you guys come to develop the lyric video for Another Dead Rockstar?
So we worked with a gentleman called Shane at Ignite Design in the States. And, we sent them the lyrics. We had a sit down with them and explained to them the spirit of the song and whatnot. And, they took their time at Ignite Design to really kind of map out the different parts of the song, which basically talks about this, this individual. It's a fictitious character, but an individual who, going through all sorts of emotions, not making it as a rock star, getting frustrated, getting involved in alcohol abuse, drug abuse, whatnot, being violent towards friends, losing their network, basically isolating themselves. It's basically in the end of the story, saying like, this is not, heading in a good direction. So you are going to kind of hit bottom unless you do something about it. But in this song and in the video, or the lyric video, it's just basically bringing the person all the way to the bottom point. So I think it's to make reflect, some people that might be in that situation or going down that road, to think about that and try not to hit bottom, basically.
Groovy. Let's go listen to the next track, Blood on the Map. right, come back from Blood on the Mat. Now, similar question for you. What's the story or inspiration behind the track?
So this is an interesting one in that it's a friend of ours who, his wish to remain anonymous, basically took to pen and paper and wrote her experiences in terms of mixed martial arts and, what she thought about it from a woman's perspective. And it's quite graphic, but I think it was written to make a statement in a sense, about the whole mixed martial arts, but also, the whole introducing of women in that sport and the violence of it all, I guess. So from her standpoint, I think it was kind of a statement to say, like, listen, does this make sense, to see ourselves as women, like throwing ourselves in the ring at the profit of, I guess, a few good men. And so I guess that's the type of message she was trying to send out. And we said, like, listen, we can throw this into a song if you like. And she says, well, as long as you don't throw my name out there, I have no problem. So we'll respect her wishes. And it is a graphic song. It's a tough song for some people to look at the lyrics at, but at the same time too, I think it sends an interesting message to think about.
Yeah. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who just dug the track Blood on the Mat, there's a lyric video available, which will be on today's show notes. So if you go to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca, you can go ahead and see the show notes for today's show, and on there, as a bonus, is going to be the lyric video for Blood on the Mat. Now, I'm curious, Curtis, sometimes a lyric video is just, lyrics on a screen, but more and more, there's definitely some deeper thought put into the lyric video. So I'm just kind of curious, with regards to the lyric video, what was the inspiration behind how it ended up coming out?
Well, I find personally Blood on the Mat is a pretty simple lyric video, if you ask my opinion. You just have basically our band logo, the lyrics, the logo of the cover of the album. So I think sometimes it's just a question of what you throw at the person who's actually developing the lyric video. I thought Another Dead Rockstar was, a more interesting lyric video. We worked with a gentleman in the States who actually has done lyric videos for bands like Steel Panther and whatnot. And they put a lot more time into try to, equate the images with what was being said in the song. So, personally, my preferred lyric video of the two that have come out is Another Dead Rockstar. And feel free by all means if you want to promote that one on your site. They're both good videos, but I have a little bit of a preference for the Dead Rockstar one.
Yeah, cool stuff. Now, what exciting news do you guys have coming up for Rock Metal Nation to pay attention to?
So we have a few shows coming up in March that we haven't announced yet. We'll be playing Monte Cristo on the 14th of April, the Monte Cristo, which is in Sainte Thérèse. This is in Quebec as well. And then in May, we start moving towards Ontario, where we will be playing on May 4th, the Geekery Pub at Niagara Falls, and then the 5th of May, Coalition Club in Toronto.
Wow, that's exciting stuff. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who is frothing at the ears to find out more about you, what website should they go to?
I think the best is to go to our Facebook site, actually. You'll find most of our stuff. You'll find our Bandcamp link there, or you can go directly to Bandcamp where you can find T-shirts, the first EP, the new album, which is coming out January 26th, all sorts of merch and whatnot. So Facebook, Bandcamp, those are the places to go. So there you go, Bandcamp and Facebook.
All right. Now, Curtis, unless there's anything else you wanted to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing Vantablack Warship with Rock Metal Nation.
Well, I really appreciate being on the show. Appreciate you taking the time to take interest in the band, and feel free to share that and promote that out in Edmonton.
Rock Metal Nation. Hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Vantablack Warship. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.